This is a tragic moment and an awful time and an awful reason to come together as we talk about a woman who was savagely murdered in our community at the hands of a violent illegal alien. So on April 3rd, the Fort Myers Police Department in Fort Myers, Florida, responded to a horrific crime scene at a gas station where an innocent mother was violently attacked and murdered. Their surveillance footage, which is circulating widely on social media, shows Robert Joaquin, a Haitian illegal alien, brutally striking the victim multiple times in the head with a hammer. This senseless act has shocked our community and underscores the critical importance of immigration enforcement and our role in public safety. Through the coordinated efforts of the Fort Myers Police Department, ERO, HSI, the U.S. Marshals, CBP, Air and Marine Operations, this man was swiftly located and apprehended. The speed and accuracy in which our law enforcement teams were able to track the killer's movements and arrest him is a testament to our robust law enforcement partnerships here in the state of Florida. Currently, Mr. Joaquin is being held at the Lee County Jail on charges of homicide and property damage. ERO has issued an immigration detainer and will ensure that he is never released into the communities or the streets of the United States again. Joaquin, an illegal alien from Haiti, first entered the United States on August 9th, 2022, near Key West, Florida, subsequent to a maritime smuggling operation. He was arrested by the United States Border Patrol. He was turned over to ICE ERO for detention and was later issued a immigration judge's final order of removal on September 9th, 2022. The prior administration allowed him to be released into the United States and subsequently granted him temporary protective status, giving him a legal safeguard to remain in our country. As of yesterday, the Trump administration stripped that safeguard, and his protections are now revoked. On June 27, 2025, the Trump administration announced the termination of temporary protective status for Haiti. It was determined that country conditions have improved to the point where Haitians can be returned safely. TPS, temporary protective status, was never designed to be a permanent stay in the United States, but for decades it's been abused as a de facto amnesty program. As we have ended TPS, the courts have obstructed the administration from restoring integrity to our immigration system. On March 11th, the Trump administration and the Supreme Court asked the Supreme Court to clear the way for it to end TPS for more than 350,000 Haitian immigrants. The case that occurred here in Fort Myers highlights the President's objective to restore law and order to our country and enforce immigration laws enacted by Congress. We here today stand together to reaffirm our commitment alongside our partners with Homeland Security Investigations, Fort Myers Police Department, to keeping our communities safe and secure. Here in the state of Florida, we do that. We do that every day. We do that proudly. We do that with the Florida Sheriff's Association, with all the police chiefs. All the state and local partners work very well together here in the state of Florida, and we continue to reaffirm that daily. We've set a standard for 287G partnerships here. We have 325 agreements with just this fiscal year alone, over 6,000 arrests associated with those 325 agreements, by far the most in the country. We lead the way in enforcement, and we've seen tremendous success because of the cooperation in the state of Florida. As a highlight of that cooperation, I would like to introduce one of our great partners, Fort Myers Police Department Chief Fields.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Fields, and I proudly serve as the police chief for the city of Fort Myers. Today highlights the results that can transpire with strong partnerships between federal, state, and local agencies. Robert Joaquin was taken into custody after an extensive, coordinated manhunt. From the beginning, our commitment was unwavering, and our message was clear. We were not going home until Joaquin was in custody. I want to thank our federal partners, along with our state and local agencies, for their relentless effort, coordination, and shared resources that assisted and ultimately led to his capture. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the assistance from our community, who were also instrumental in his apprehension. As this case moves through the court process, I'll also recognize our amazing state attorney, Amira Fox, and her team as they continue pursuing justice for the victim and her family. This was a horrific crime. Evil individuals who commit violent acts in our community will be pursued, held accountable, and brought to justice. I will now turn it over to Micah McCombs, Acting Special Agent in charge with Homeland
Thank you, Chief Fields. My name is Micah McCombs, serving as the Acting Special Agent in charge for HSI, covering Southwest Florida. HSI is the principal investigative arm of the Department of Homeland Security, and we share a building with enforcement and removal operations. So when that call came in that this subject was on the run, a seamless search ensued with our partners. The Fort Myers Police Department is one of our best partners. In fact, one of the first agents from HSI to take part in the search is a former FMPD officer. Our partnerships in Southwest Florida are extremely strong. This tragic event to this United States citizen who came here the right way 6 years ago, this Bangladeshi national who got her citizenship the right way, it's senseless. It's a video you can never unwatch. Should not happen in this country. The men and women of HSI and ERO together in this building with our partners at FMPD responded, and we're very proud of them, but we're very sad at the same time that this had to happen. With that, I'll turn it back over to Fawad Kiliwar.
That concludes our briefing. Open the floor up to questions.
Kelly, if you could just ask, could you clarify how he got into the country? He was smuggled in and he wasn't granted PTS. And just to follow up with that, PTS has extreme vetting. Was he going through the vetting process?
So he arrived in the United States via a water vessel on August 6, 2022, in a maritime smuggling event. He was not granted temporary protective status until 2023, when he applied later in 2023, and then reapplied in 2024. So there was a vetting process that happens during that application window, but he did not actually have it until then. We released him in 2022 because of the prior administration's policies.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. On Monday, a Fort Myers Police Department officer said in court that Joaquin is considered a suspect in another case. Can you name what case that is?
I don't think we're talking about the ongoing investigation at this time.
When it comes to that immigration detainer that is placed on this man, how will that impact this case and possible justice to the victim's family?
Look, we're here to serve we're a law enforcement partner. We are here to serve the criminal justice system. We will work closely hand in hand with the state's attorneys to make sure that this individual meets the full due justice deserved to him, to include if he's turned over to us and before his final day in court and his sentencing. We'll make sure and coordinate that directly with the state system and take him once he's completed his time and make sure that he never gets to the streets of the United States and gets back to his home country.
So we won't be deported prior to any due process with this case?
If the state wants to keep him in the United States of America, we will absolutely work with them to do that.
This question is for Chief Fields. According to the arrest report, some of the Fort Myers police officers had encountered the suspect on March 24th, so before the incident. What were the nature of those interactions, and why was he not either arrested or detained then? Was there not probable cause or any kind of detainer that would have allowed for it?
So this is an active investigation, and we did have some contacts with him over a period of time, but we're looking into those and looking at all those fine details on why we're in contact with him.
Was that contact to a prior case separate from this one?
I don't have that information right now. No.
Chief, can you confirm whether he is a suspect in any other cases at this point?
I cannot confirm, no.
We had heard that he had been to that location before, had some sort of, I guess dispute or confrontation regarding an ATM. They brought him there. I don't know if this is true or not, but had he been there in the days before that gas station?
These investigations are very fluid, and we look to vet every piece of information that we get, and we look to track down these rumors to make sure, through video, through witnesses. So I can't confirm anything at this time with that.
In 4 years of the temporary protected status, what has the suspect been doing since then? Where has he been?
I don't know his whereabouts for the last 4 years now.
Okay, last question.
You can't confirm whether or not he's a suspect in another case. Why would an officer say in court Monday that he is?
I don't know. I'll have to look into it, though. We'll confirm that.
Okay, one last question. I'm sorry.
Okay, last one right here.
The DHS press release had mentioned that the TPS expired in 2024, and I was trying to just figure out the gap there between if that's the right date and sort of like
Right.
That's the time of the arrest.
So when TPS expires, although expired, they still have protection until there's a decision on their renewal application, which he filed timely. So he had protection up until the moment that the administration revoked his protection, which happened just this week. So he no longer has that available to him, and we'll do full justice at this time. And then I think that was the last question. Go ahead, Mike.
As a reminder, we'll show you the video as to why we're here today. All right, thank you. That concludes our press conference. Sir?